If a medical mistake hurts you or someone you love, you likely cannot take your healthcare provider to court. Lawyers say that's the result of a last-minute change to Wisconsin law that Fox 6 investigator Amanda St. Hilaire uncovered.
And Mary, new tonight, we're hearing from people who say they're in the line of fire and they fear the consequences are financially devastating.
Listen closely, because there's a chance you'll never hear a lawyer say this again.
I hope and pray that I'm wrong.
Medical malpractice attorney Kevin Martin says over the last 2 weeks, he's turned away at least 6 cases he'd usually take.
And the response that I get from these callers is heartbreaking.
One of those callers
He suggested I contact you.
was Carol Weber.
I couldn't believe it. It's like I feel like we're being thrown under the bus.
Carol's 78-year-old husband, Charles,
A very low-key, gentle man.
had heart surgery at the beginning of April.
He actually fainted at home.
Not enough blood was getting from Charles' heart to the rest of his body. Carol says the surgery that was supposed to fix the problem made things worse.
They called me that night, the physician, and said a mistake had been made. He said it shouldn't have happened, but it did. And now they would have to do a double bypass on him.
Carol says her husband is still in the hospital on dialysis and will need months of rehab. And that double bypass to fix the problems from the first surgery is jeopardizing an already needed aneurysm surgery.
It's almost like he's a ticking time bomb.
Carol started calling attorneys.
What I was really looking to get from any kind of a legal situation would be help with his medical expenses. We are not wealthy people, and it weighs on me heavily. I cry.
The lawyers told Carol they would have jumped at her case 2 months ago. But now they have to turn her away because of Act 185. At first, Carol was confused. Act 185 is Wisconsin's COVID-19 response bill. Her husband's surgery had nothing to do with that. But a Fox 6 investigation revealed a last-minute amendment from Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. Originally, the bill gave healthcare providers immunity from civil lawsuits over COVID-19 treatment.
The amendment has a number of important provisions that are being put in to make technical corrections.
Those technical corrections took out the COVID-19 language. Now attorneys say healthcare providers have immunity from civil lawsuits over almost anything that happens between March 12th and 60 days after the state of emergency ends.
And it removes a significant mechanism for consumer protection that we as a society need.
State Rep Jonathan Brostoff was one of the 2 no votes on Act 185. Other lawmakers and the governor signed off, saying the good outweighed the bad. But Brostoff isn't so sure.
Politicians have egos and they love getting credit for stuff. So if you see a politician that has a huge substantive bill or amendment to a bill and they want to sneak it in last minute without anyone knowing about it, that's a red flag.
Speaker Robin Vos and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald have not responded to repeated requests for comment. Wisconsin Hospital Association says it's necessary for healthcare providers to have broad immunity, not just for treatment of COVID-19 patients. Wisconsin Medical Society has a different take.
I kind of dispute with you that it has significant changes from the original language. There's a word here and there. We debated that, but I think the intent is consistent with the original language.
No matter the intent, the effect is people like Carol.
It's devastating, really.
Are stuck.
I have a responsibility to accept cases that I believe I can successfully prosecute. And with the way I interpret that law, I don't believe I could successfully prosecute that case.
That makes Kevin Martin and other medical malpractice attorneys lawyers who hope they're wrong. And short of a change to the law, Carol says hope is all she's got. Amanda St. Hilaire, Fox 6 News.
It was important to Carol that we mentioned she respects her husband's doctor for being upfront about the mistake. She's just trying to figure out how they're going to handle the complications and pay their medical bills. In the meantime, we have more information about what Wisconsin Act 185 means for you on our website at fox6now.com.